Welcome to Empowered, podcast that equips the church, parents, leaders, and the next generation. Hosted by Paul Spurlin, Caleb Sampson, Jerry Elder, and Caleb Norwood. 4 voices, 1 mission: to build stronger ministries, faithful families, and disciples that last. Real talk, real tools, real encouragement. This is Empowered, and it starts now in the Ministry League Network.
Welcome to the Empowered Podcast, brought to you by Ministry League. You find us at ministryleague.com. Download the app. Look at all the podcasts available. But this is Empowered. This is the Empowered Hour. But it isn't exactly an hour. I am Paul Spurlin. This is Caleb Norwood. That is Caleb Sampson. And it's Mr. Jerry, who doesn't even need a last name. And this is the show. Guys, let's talk ministry.
Oh, the B-I-B-L-E. Yes, that's the book for me. Stand upon the word of God, the B-I-B-L-E.
Thank you.
You know what that means, don't you?
So our topic today is
Wise man building his house upon the rock.
I'm more of a hippo song kind of guy.
Keep them guessing, Jerry.
what about
If
Abraham?
you do, Booster will get it.
Oh,
Booster
The
does it
Booster
every
song.
single
That's it.
time.
listen,
We're talking about VBS.
Who sings Booster at camp? I'm just curious. Nobody.
Not a count.
VBS.
I don't like the Booster song. I know. Ugh. I know.
You asked for that one.
I did. But it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite at all. That was
Why? It has so much content to it. I don't understand. It affects so many lives and souls.
All I know is when you bring the little child up there
All
and
the
they get him
chickens
to
in
be
the
the
yard.
grouchy rooster face,
That's
They
fair.
light up. They
That's
light up.
fair.
they
That's
light up,
The
man.
kids love it. The adults hate it.
it's for the children.
That's right.
It's
That's
for
right.
the children.
Or
Definition of VBS. Or is it?
Is it just for the children these days? Hey, guys, let's talk a little bit about VBS. And let's talk about, all of us are seemingly got one going on next week with the exception of Caleb Sampson. You've already done yours, Caleb?
Yes, we finished last night.
Ooh,
Good.
I
Congratulations.
like.
So talk a little bit about your VBS, daytime, nighttime, prime audience.
Nighttime, pre-K through 6th grade. The teens get somewhat involved in the helping run it, and the adults are highly involved. But this year, our theme was Moses, and the final night we ended with inflatables and pizza and stuff like that.
All the cool stuff.
So what time do you said night? So that's 7 to 8:30?
6:30 to 8.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. So hour and a half. Is that what we're looking at?
Yep.
Everybody? Hour and a half?
Yep.
Okay. Norwood, what about you?
So we are in prep week this week. So at the time of recording this, our VBS will be next week. Our primary audience is everyone. So we'll have, I don't know, 250 people throughout the entire building at any given time. And so there's Bible classes for literally every age group. There's an adult Bible class, there's a teenage Bible class, there's classes for all the kids. We go from 6:30 to 8:30, somewhere around in there. That sort of thing. Our teens do have a class. They help a lot in the before VBS, like help paint, help set up, help decorate, that sort of thing. And then, but during the actual VBS portion, they have a class that they are in. And then some of our teens will, they may help, teach a class or so. But there is a teenage class. And the reason we do that is, for one, our building is so big, we don't want people wandering around just aimlessly. So there's that. And then 2, it allows them to have an applicable lesson from the theme on their level, that sort of thing.
That's a fancy word.
A big word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Probably
don't teach
paying
it.
off.
I don't teach it. None of our ministers here at Henderson actually teach it. We have somebody else who comes in and teaches it, whether that be another youth minister. But this year we have a member who is like, hey, I really want to teach the teen class. And I'm like, cool. You want to teach them for VBS? And he's awesome. He's going to do a great job. Our theme this year is lifeguards, taken from Ezekiel 33, the parable of the watchman, and comparing the job of a lifeguard also with the job of a Christian. So, yeah. Paul, what about you?
I am sending a text to my elder.
Okay.
Recording in the studio. He'll know what that means, and okay, it's good. Okay, so you answered a question I was going to ask, because I know Jerry's in sort of a multi-purpose building. I know they're adding on, and then of course Caleb, y'all's building is vast, and I know that Caleb, do you use certain parts of the building? I guess that's the answer for Norwood at Henderson, definitely, because that's what this is the first year. Usually we paint the world red. I mean, it used to be the whole thing is the whole thing. This is the very first, because y'all been in the building. This is the very first time we're only using upstairs. We're not using downstairs at all, which is huge, because our downstairs is like a rotation model. It's got room set up for it. Right. But the way it's set up, the way we're doing it, the schedule, everything is different than I've ever done it ever. And it's kind of neat. But our theme is, it's not really a theme, but the pop culture direction is Jedi Academy, teaching people how to wield their lightsaber, which is the Bible, how to use the Bible. And we have different lessons going on through there, 4 different lessons. And some of us get to dress up as Jedi Knights or an X-Wing fighter. And we are teaching. The Fellowship Hall is going to become the Millennium Falcon, all the way to the control panel of the cockpit. I mean, it's
perfect.
I'm telling you, it's awesome. We're taking pictures. I've almost got them to letting us do this 2 years in a row, just because we have this cool stuff. Let's make it 2 years, just 2, because there's so many stories in the Bible we can use to bring back towards that. Ours is everybody. It's everybody. We have classes for all ages. Our adults and teens are together for the Jedi talk. We explain to them what it means to use the lightsaber, aka the Bible, and we have different stories. The story specifically I'll be teaching on is the temptation of Jesus. Those 3 things that the Sith devil offers to Jesus, and so we talk about how important it is to understand, to stay towards the light, understand the darkness is always there. They're always going to ask questions. The devil's not after you; he just wants to hurt God, and so he's going through us. And so that's kind of what we're doing for this. We got crafts, we got snacks, we got class, and then rotation for them as well. And then the teens and adults have a little more time for debrief and conversation about how to wield that lightsaber stuff too. So it's kind of different, totally different from what we've ever done before, but everybody's involved. Mostly workers, our teenagers, 6th grade to 12th. Yes. Below that, they're a part of it.
Cool.
What about you?
We are it's interesting. We do a daytime. We do 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. So 2.5 hours. Rotation model, 3 different rotation models for 3 different age groups. They each get their own puppet show, craft, lessons, singing, all come together in the auditorium first. We do the big blow up in the auditorium. This year, our theme is Gigantify, seeing God's awesomeness in the creation that He's made around Him. They just brought in a tree a little while ago. The tree is 14 feet tall. That's going to host one of our puppets in it. That will have interaction with me out front. We've got big wing-spanned butterflies and stuff that'll fly. Think Honey, I Shrunk the Kid. And Caleb Sampson and I was talking about this earlier, and it's not going to make any difference to us as far as stature goes. But we've got that going. Typical rotations of, and I say, we are 4-year-old to 4th grade because we are constrained on building space. Now I've got 41 teenagers, or currently 41 teenagers working, and about 40 adults working as far as class teaching goes, and the rotation model that we have. We've done it this way ever since I've been at Spring Meadows, with the exception of about 2 or 3 years, we did morning and night. We did 2 every day. And come to find out, honestly, the morning works the best for us.
Yeah.
If it were left up to me, I would be doing morning and night again because it's 2 total different audiences.
That's true. Good point. Okay.
So it's good stuff.
That's interesting. Usually you've heard of that with gospel meetings. The guys will come in, they'll speak in the morning for some folks that can't get out at night and then do it again at night. But I've never heard of that for VBS. That's really neat.
Well, if you go, I don't know how many of you gone on foreign mission trips. A lot of your foreign mission trips, you'll do your VBSs in the morning with kids.
That's true.
Gospel meeting
at night, 100%.
And it's, I'm not stating that we should do this, but maybe we should. Maybe we should truly look at it.
There's something there.
Yeah, I guarantee you there's something there. And how you can tie it all together.
I think if you have a lot of volunteers, if you're at a congregation, when you have a lot of people that are on board for helping, I think that works great. But if you have that 80-20 thing and you're dealing with that makes it very difficult.
Right.
But I love it. I'd love to give it a shot. You know me, I'd give anything a shot.
So my favorite format for Vacation Bible Schools, if I can just tell you my favorite one of all time, because when I grew up in Nebraska, congregations would come to us, and when I preached in Iowa and Nebraska, we hosted different groups. Madison brought up their huge youth group, and my favorite thing is for a congregation to host another congregation. They bring their youth group. And it's basically like camp for the teens in that congregation and the group that comes up. The mornings they go do service projects or go to area daycares and give the daycare workers a break and invite all the kids, play up with them, and then say, hey, come back tonight to Vacation Bible School. But do the service stuff in the morning. In the afternoons, help set up for Vacation Bible School for whatever decorations you need to do for that day. And then the evening, do VBS as a combined youth group between the 2 different groups. And then after that, have like a devotional where you kind of break down the wins and the losses and what things can we do better tomorrow kind of thing. And what I really love is like all the guys camp out at the church building and the girls go stay at somebody's house. And you end up like blending these youth groups together. We had the group that came from Madison that came up to Iowa. We had girls that ended up being roommates in college later from one from our youth group and one from their youth group because of this like bond that they made that week. And then the parents for the adults, you do a gospel meeting for their adult Bible class and feed them snacks afterward, make them feel fully included in the process. But that's my favorite model of all time for VBS. It's a ton of work and you are completely exhausted at the end of that week, but I love it. I think that's just so much fun. And then take your small youth group after you've hosted somebody like that and find an even smaller church and go do that for them toward the end of the summer. So I just love that.
That is cool. I like that.
One of the things that we do when we go to we went to Caleb's when Caleb was at Allen's and did that model. As a matter of fact, it worked very, very well, I thought, and it was a very enjoyable time of being in there. One of the things that I think when you're going to a place to do a VBS is I think you got to be your outcome oriented. Okay, how effective are you going to be in a missional way? Okay. What impact are you going to make on the congregation? I like the number 3. So if we could go to some place 3 years, and if we've helped make a difference, and that congregation is making a change in you see growth in that congregation, then 3 years is a good number to stay. If you haven't made a difference, and I'll say this both ways, if you haven't made a difference, nor has that congregation made some differences, maybe it's time for somebody else to come in and take that reign over and do that. But I think that's important. I think that's really important if you're going out to do a VBS someplace.
Yeah. And what's the expression? An expert is somebody from 20 miles or further away. So you get somebody that comes in and they become, an expert to your congregation, where you could say the same thing and they look at you like you got a third eye. So
Right.
it's awesome.
Right. So I want to go to Spurlin here for a moment, because Sampson and Norwood, you're too young. What do you miss from VBS's of years ago that we don't do these days?
When I was a kid, growing up, we lived in Cookeville, Tennessee, and I still have on my desk right now. If I was in my office, I'd show it to you. It's a little toolbox. I made a toolbox at VBS at Jefferson Avenue, Church of Christ. It says it underneath it. I still have it, and the pins are in it and everything. And I talked to Topher, the youth minister, the other day, because he's there, and I'm like, "Look what I have," and he showed his elders. I said, "That's pretty cool. That's the coolest thing I remember." I like going places and having to have tokens or something that has helped you or you've used over the years, and you never forget it. And you make that impact. Sometimes it seems like even today, we just give them a coloring sheet, move on with the day. How do they give them something they can take with them and have a memory about it? And not just a memory of that happened, but maybe more of a reminder of, man, that was awesome. I want to do that for them, you know?
Right.
So that kind of thing, the thing that makes you remember those things, are something that I really remember. The singing was awesome. It seems like these days we just cut out the singing to get straight to class, which class is important, but we're trying to fit in all the rotations, and so you miss that time. So those are some of the things that I miss the most from.
That's why we're 2.5 hours.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, it takes that type of time, and you can do that in the daytime VBS.
You can.
You cannot do that. You could do it at a nighttime VBS, but if you want to get out at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, but then you start diminishing your children, because children go to bed at 6:30.
So we start at 7 o'clock, and that's because we're in Metro Atlanta. And for anybody to get anywhere at a certain time, you got to start at 7. And so our end time started at 8:30, but now it's almost like we stopped putting in end time, because we're going to be here at 8:45. But it's summertime, so folks, it's okay. If you're watching this and you're going to be my road, it's okay. It's going to be a party the whole time. So we're looking forward to it. It's something we look forward to. But that time frame, I know, matters. I do, as a wish, what I miss as a kid, I miss the morning VBS. I miss the time when you can be a little crazy and learn a lot. I miss that. At night, it seems like you have to be so prim and so proper. Of course, if you see our building, you know we're not. But I mean,
you're being Obi-Wan Kenobi, okay?
Exactly. It's well, there is something there. I'll post it later. But yeah, you get to be people and do different things. And I remember, where did I go? I had cousins who actually we lived in Goulitsville. They went to church at Madison Church. Now this has been a long time ago. Our North was a preacher. It was awesome.
Oh yeah. And
they would bring in guests as part of their vacation Bible school. And that was the first time I ever met Darth Vader. It was just, they brought in superheroes and movie heroes and like, who are we going to see today? Those kind of things were pretty cool. But, stuff like that. Legit. That's my character. Thank you for that.
Cool.
I wish he could smile. I sent so many pictures of me smiling, but it looks like I want to hurt somebody. But I am a good guy. Paulus Dax. They said keep part of your name, so I did.
And you smile with 2 lightsabers, though. I mean, that's all business.
You're absolutely right, 100%.
Paul, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but I 100% saw you as a Sith. Right?
Yeah. Thankful that. Can we get another? I need one more. Yeah. Okay, that's good. So here's the thing. It's funny you should say that, though. I will be wearing all black because I want them, when they come in the I would say auditorium, when they come into the Jedi Temple to learn how to wield the lightsaber. I'll be standing up front. We'll take pictures. I'll send you videos. They're not going to know what's in front of them. They're just going to know somebody up there with a lightsaber is about to teach them something. And I want them to get as close as they can to what they think is the darkness and show them that true can also be light. And so Dax, by definition, in the Star Wars world, by definition, is a truth sayer and a justice seeker.
Ooh,
with no nonsense. Yeah, so that's kind of who I am.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That is cool.
Thank you very much. And
That's
thank
cool.
you
That's
for sharing that, Caleb.
I know it'd be a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's the neat thing about Vacation Bible Schools, I think, is the excitement that comes in between it. And, so a couple more questions before we wrap this up today. What do you think congregations need to look for? Let's talk about this for just a second. What is your follow through after VBS is over? I think that's important. I think that's crucial. What's your follow up? Now, tell me what you're doing. Tell me what your follow up is.
Well, go ahead, Caleb.
So anytime that I do some big event, whether it be mission trip, whether it be exposure, whether it be rush or anything, I always send out a survey to the kids and to those who went. And I'm like, hey, what was your favorite thing? What was your least favorite thing? What did you learn? What did you wish you could expand on? And I mean, it's a thorough thing, but I want them to put their name on it. And the reason I want them to put their name on it is because I want them to be honest, and I want them to feel like, hey, this is my thoughts, and my thoughts are okay, and I don't have to stay anonymous, and because I want to know what things did you think that didn't work well. And so for VBS, that's one of those things. If there is a visitor, our follow-through plan is one of us ministers are going to get in touch with them, and then we hand those off to our elders, and then we get our elders involved with those two. So it's kind of a twofold measure for us, at least. One is logistically, what did you think? But then there's also the visitor component of, hey, what can we do? How can we pray for you? What are you looking for? That sort of thing.
I would love to see the results of some of those surveys, since you said exposure and rush. I'm very curious to see how that turned out.
Okay.
For us, we everybody registers. I have registration set up online, which is probably where you found that picture. We have all of our characters. We're going to be on our registration online, and we find out the kid, we find their allergies, we find out what they need to know for everything else. It's very important, but also email addresses and parents' names, so that we can send a message back and say, hope your child and you enjoyed Vacation Bible School. Is there anything else we can help you with? We're right here in your community. We're your community church, so to speak, because we're close to you. How can we help you? And so that's the follow through we have. We did the same thing for our drive-through barbecue thing a couple weeks ago before camp, which was amazing. I'll talk about that another time. But the same thing is receiving information so we can contact them and ask them, what kind of experience did you have? Kind of like what Norwood's talking about. Kind of get a survey-ish idea from them. Usually in doing all those events, I stopped doing surveys because usually surveys bring back all the negative, all the good people, all the good things. I won't tell you the good things. Here's all the bad things is wrong. So it's not bad, but you kind of know what you need to get when you get it.
Right.
But I do love hearing from them and knowing what they like, what they might have didn't like, and a way to continue that conversation. Very important.
Sampson.
For follow up,
I just wrapped up.
Yeah. We always do cards and then try to do something kind of piece together. I've never found anything that works really extremely well.
I'm with you on that, because when you start following through, what are people coming to Vacation Bible School for? I hope you hope and pray that you're planting a lot of seeds. All right. And you hope that you're getting connections in there. Follow through. Now we've got something different this year. I don't know if y'all know Lydia Todd. Lydia kind of works with us at Spring Meadows right now, and she does this. Man, she's amazing in what she does as far as getting out and making contact, Paul, connections with people past an event. And I think what we do is we bring this into planting seed, digging soil, planting seed for children.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's in the times I've been in life, VBS has always been for children. Mm-hmm. We grew it. When growing up in Munford, it was always a daytime VBS, and I'm like you, Paul. Mm-hmm. That's why I kind of like it, because you can be freer. Look,
Yeah.
there was nothing better in 1968 going outside, and here's this Coke machine that this man has brought in, not a machine, just an open container, the old ones, and you reach down and you grab the Coke bottle out, glass Coke bottle. Norwood, you would never know anything like this. And you would take the top off of it and you just start shaking and spraying everybody around you. And so
we didn't waste Coca-Cola.
Huh?
We didn't waste Coca-Cola. I guess you grew up with money. I didn't.
No, we didn't grow up with money. We just knew that was a fun
Sam's
thing.
choice, Sampson. Come on now.
Dr.
Thunder everywhere.
Dr. Thunder. Yeah, I mean, but that's, playing games and, today's VBSs are different because we've had to change with the times. Technology has changed it, a lot of things, but the root message must remain the same. And whether you teach it through being a lifeguard or whether you teach it by being a Star Wars character, however you teach that, points back to Jesus. And and whether in our big world that we're looking at, and whether it's something big, because God is big. I'll kind of wrap this up if y'all want me to, guys.
Before you do, can I say something? I knew you were getting in that mode. Jesus, if you look through his ministry, he spent time with all kinds of people,
absolutely,
young and old, and everybody in between. He spent time with people that were difficult to be with, like Peter. I'm telling you by experience, sailors are tough. He spent time with people that loved people and people that didn't. Yet he found a way to find that connection. And I think that's a lesson to learn from this. But I don't want to take that away from you, Jerry. You go ahead.
No, that's fine. That's perfect. It's kind of exactly what we look at. Vacation Bible School brings anybody and everybody off the road. I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's true.
Right.
I've been, I don't know how many we've done away over the last 40 something years, but going to places and stuff. You've had people come in off the road. You think, man, they're rough as nails, but they had the greatest, biggest hearts. And when it comes to loving the Lord, and then you've got people that's come in, they drive in their big cars and all that stuff, and they still love the Lord. I think it is that atmosphere that can open up the door to more people knowing Jesus. And it goes back to exactly what you said, Paul. If Jesus can sit down and talk to a Peter who is rough as he could be, or if he could sit there and talk to a tax collector and bring a tax collector in, imagine what we can do with just a very, very small thing that we call Vacation Bible School, of bringing people in to sing Bible songs, to pray to God through Jesus, to sitting down and eat a cookie and drink a Coca-Cola, or actually Kool-Aid. So when we do that, who knows what the world will change on this.
That's right.
Booster, be a booster.
I guess I don't know.
Maybe we ought to booster it out of here. What do you think?
We need to hurry because Norwood's got to get back to his other job being Spider-Man. I just noticed that with his shirt.
It's a soccer jersey.
Yeah, it looks like he's about to put his Spider-Man mask on.
I told him he couldn't wear that jersey. I told him he couldn't wear that jersey unless he was doing a soccer VBS.
I got to swing from the buildings here in Henderson.
I had a
Powered podcast that equips the church, parents, leaders, and the next generation. Hosted by Paul Spurlin, Caleb Sampson, Jerry Elder, and Caleb Norwood. 4 voices, 1 mission: to build stronger ministries, faithful families, and disciples that last. Real talk, real tools, real encouragement,